After fully completing and 100%ing most Mario games, I never get too much of an urge to replay them. But then I realized there are a lot of cool ways and challenges to make Mario much more interesting. And in this video, I'm going to show you 11 ways to do that. Alright, let's get into it.
Go.
The first course of action is inverting the colors. This is a pretty trippy way to play any of the games. It makes everything feel corrupted or weird in a cool kind of way. Even if you don't think this will make much of a challenge, as it will, sometimes the depth perception might be a bit off, or you may make accidents because of the separately colored objects and enemies, as you can see playing here. To do this, you can change the color of your PC if you're playing on an emulator, or you can go into your Switch settings and change it to either inverted or even grayscale if you want, which is another option. This one is probably going to be the most difficult of them all, but it's Super Mario Bros. But you can't face right. You may be asking how this is even possible, but there is a glitch in the original game that allows you to do this. Looking at it here, if you face left and crouch as Super Mario, then jump to the right while trying to maintain the left direction, you won't face right at all. This heavily limits Mario's moveset, however, so it makes the game much harder. If someone could record a playthrough of them doing the entire game like this, I would love to see it. Mario's catching up late on his plumbing job, so he has to speedrun saving Peach. Inspired from G Game's video on this, what if we only had 60 seconds to beat each level? Mario's going to have to go terminal montage mode here. This might be easy for some open levels, such as Super Bell Hill being shown here, but it might get a lot more complicated for auto-scrolling levels and levels that are just massive. This one, it would be extremely impressive to complete. If someone could complete this, please show me it. This would be amazing. Here's the one you guys saw in the intro, but it's any Mario game but without collecting coins. This may sound simple on paper, but is extremely difficult for some games, especially the 2D Mario games. The one I'm showing here is the first level from NSMBU, which is pretty easy, but there are a lot more ones harder than it. The thing that makes this one hard is that there's a lot of areas that require you to collect coins, or there's just like a lot of tight spaces you'd have to go through by doing crouch jumps and specifically timed regular jumps. But this one is extremely difficult, but it's actually very fun. I recommend you guys try this with any 2D Mario game. This one is one of the more interesting ones on the list, but this is the Mario Wonder Spring Bounce badge. There are 4 expert badges in Mario Wonder, and these actually make the game much harder. While the other ones have their own difficulties, I'm not going to assume that this one's the hardest. It messes up your jump coordination because you're always jumping, and getting through tight spaces, as you'll see here, is very difficult. Also, trying to get in running only subjects or dodging obstacles is super difficult when you have this badge equipped. It basically turns into Mario Extremely Kaizo mode. I'm just joking, but still, this is a great challenge for anyone that wants a good playthrough after Mario Wonder. On the flip side, compared to Super Mario Bros. Without facing right, now we have any 2D Mario game, but you can't go left. This enforces that you really need to think about your decisions, because now there's a high chance that you'll be trapped against a corridor or you have to go back, or there's just sections and levels where you need to backtrack in order to do something. This is possible with any 2D Mario game, like I said, but this is extremely difficult. If anybody could record this with New Super Mario Bros. DS, I would be very interested to see it. One of the things that makes Super Mario Galaxy a great game is Mario's moveset, and one of the most massive parts of it is the spin jump. Spin jumps can kill enemies, help you gain extra ground, or break rocks for stars and other goodies. But what if we removed it? On top of the game being much more difficult, some stars are unable to be collected. I would love to see how a challenge like this could be tackled with the remaining stars that there would be. I definitely think that this is possible, but I would love to see the challenges that come with it. In this case scenario, Mario accidentally developed an allergy to power-ups, so he's just gonna not get hit at all by them. Going through tons of levels without making one mistake would take a heavily seasoned player and hundreds of resets. This might be easier in some of the old games, such as Super Mario Land, but extremely difficult in a game such as Super Mario Odyssey with massive areas. I don't know, maybe Luigi should do the job now. For our final challenge, we have Pacifist. Everyone has always accused Mario of causing genocide to the various Goombas and Koopas roaming around the levels, but he's going to disprove that by going the entire game without killing any enemies. This might start off easy in the first few levels, but get really difficult as the later levels come with more enemies. I wouldn't count any bosses or Koopa Troopas, because those can either be claimed as self-defense, or because the Koopas don't actually die, that wouldn't be considered murder. But anyway, this would be extremely difficult just because we're so used to running extremely quickly and bouncing off enemies. Anyway, now all the challenges are claimed. Thank you guys so much for watching this smaller video. I know this might not be as high quality compared to the other videos, but I've just been taking a break recently and figuring out how to use all of this new things I got for making future content. Make sure to tune into my live stream on Friday 3 p.m. where we will do a lot of fun stuff, and I'll be able to use my new capture card on the Switch so we can play various games with that. Make sure to check my community tab for updates. Alright, bye.